What's up, everyone? Welcome to my week 4 of NFL predictions. Last week I went 8-8, and that puts my current record at 28-20, so not a great start. Alright, our first game is tonight, Cowboys and Giants, Thursday Night Football. And I just mentioned that I suck at picks this year, but Thursday Night Football randomly is the one thing I'm good at because I'm 3-0 in that, and I have an exact score. So hopefully I can get this game right. You got the Cowboys, who are underwhelming, but still have a lot of talent on their team. And you got the Giants, who had a surprising win last week against the Browns, but I think regardless, I still think the Cowboys are going to win. They have the Giants number, plus the talent deficit I think is going to be too great for the Giants to overcome. So I have the Cowboys winning this one 27-13. Alright, our first 1 o'clock game we'll talk about is the Broncos and Jets. Broncos surprisingly beating the Bucs pretty handedly too. And that was definitely a shock. They actually messed up my lock of the week because the Bucs were my lock of the week and they lost. As for the Jets, they basically did what was expected of them. They beat the Patriots. Patriots aren't a good team. The Jets are a good team. And because the Jets are a good team, I'm still going to pick the Jets, even if the Broncos are trending up. I mean, the Broncos just lost their second best defensive player. He's out for the season. Alex Singleton tore his ACL last game, or something like that. And because of that, and the Jets being an overall better team, I have the Jets winning this game with a score of 28-21. Alright, our next matchup's our second divisional matchup so far. You got the Vikings taking on the Packers. Vikings shocking everyone and blowing the hell out of the Texans. And then you got the Packers, who also surprised some people, able to destroy the Titans with Malik Willis at quarterback. And I'm pretty sure Jordan Love's going to play this game. I saw that he's more likely than not going to play, but I think regardless of who's playing at quarterback for the Packers, the Vikings defense has been playing unbelievable. So they're going to have, a rough game. So because of that, I'm going to have to go with the Vikings here, and I have them winning 20-17. Moving on, we got the Bengals taking on the Panthers, and the Bengals surprisingly losing to the Commanders on Monday Night Football last week, and they're at 0-3. And then you got the Panthers, who surprisingly beat the Raiders, and they blew them out too. I mean, that was not really a close game. They had Andy Dalton being quarterback, and he's going to be quarterback here as well, so it's going to be an Andy Dalton Bengals revenge game as well. So this is definitely going to be, an intriguing game. And I'm going to go with the Bengals just because they're the safe pick. Plus, I do think eventually they will get it turned around. And they need to. They cannot afford to go to 0-4. And I think Joe Burrow and the gang is going to get themselves a dub against a not-so-great Panthers team, 30-17. Alright, our next game, we got an NFC South matchup between the Saints and Falcons. Both teams receiving losses last week. Saints lost to the Eagles, and the Falcons lost to the Chiefs. And, those are both games that you could argue both teams should have won because they were close games where they just let it slip away from them. So both these teams are hungry for a win, especially considering it's a divisional matchup. And I don't really know who the favorite in this game is, if I'm being honest, because more likely than not, I picked that team. But I think I actually have to go with the Falcons here because they're at home. And they looked better last week than the Saints did against a better team, in my opinion. So I'm going to have the Falcons winning this one with a score of 20-15. Our next game, we got an AFC South matchup between the Jags and the Texans. Jags, oh boy, you guys look horrible. You guys got blown out by the Bills on Monday Night Football. That's bad. And it was a really bad blowout, too. The Jags look like one of the worst teams in the NFL right now. And then you got the Texans, who got blown out by the Vikings. So both these teams, they really need to try and get back on track, especially the Jags. 0-3 is bad. They honestly look like the worst team in the NFL. So yeah, both these teams are going to want this one. And I'm going to have to go with the Texans just because I think CJ Stroud's a lot better than Trevor, and I think their offense is a lot better as well. So I'm going to go with the Texans to get a home victory, 23-17, and this will also be my lock of the week. Moving on, we got the 3-0 Steelers taking on the 1-2 Colts. Steelers able to get a solid victory against the Chargers last week, and the Colts able to get their first victory against the Chicago Bears. And, I think this game's going to be really low scoring because, it's the Steelers, and they have a really good defense, and their offense isn't that great either. The Colts defense isn't that great, but, so the Steelers could have a good day on offense, but I don't think it'll be anything too crazy. And I'm going to pick the Steelers here. I think they're going to win this one with a score of 23-10. Moving on, we got the Rams taking on the Bears. The Rams able to get their first victory last week against the 49ers in I would say, an improbable fashion because a lot of things, went wrong for the 49ers. They were able to take advantage. As for the Bears, they lost to the Colts, but Caleb Williams definitely looked his best in that last game. So I think this will be a competitive game because the Rams don't have a great defense and they're super injured on offense. And I think the Bears offense is going to give the Rams defense some problems because you got Caleb Williams, Keenan Allen potentially, I don't know if he's back yet, DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, DeAndre Swift, there's so many people he can throw the ball to. So I'm going to go with the Bears to win this one with a score of 24-20. Moving on, we got a rematch of the 2023 NFC wildcard round. You got the Eagles taking on the Bucs. Eagles able to get as their second win against the Saints, and not a great game, but a win's a win. As for the Bucs, oh man, they lost 26-7 to a rookie quarterback. That was a bad game for them, and Baker Mayfield had zero time to do anything. And, I think this is going to be an important game. This is going to determine, I think, who is actually a good team in the NFC and who is, kind of just there. And I got to go with the Bucs, honestly. I think the Eagles' defense, their pass defense, is awful. It is so bad. And I think Baker Mayfield's going to do a good job exposing that. So I have the Bucs winning this one 27-17. Moving on, we got our first 4 o'clock game. You got the Patriots taking on the 49ers. Patriots lost to the Jets on Thursday Night Football last week. And the 49ers, oh boy, concerning loss to the Rams. They were up by 14 at the start, and then they just pissed the game away. And it's looking concerning for them. They're 1-2, and they're a supposed Super Bowl contender. They should be better than what they are, but they're just not playing their best ball. And if they're not careful, I honestly think the Patriots could, win this game. Do I think they're going to? No, I don't think the Patriots are going to win. I do think the 49ers will kind of sort of get back on track with a win here. I think they'll win this one 24-17. Moving on, we got, in my opinion, a very exciting game. You got the Commanders taking on the Cardinals. Commanders able to shock the Bengals with an outstanding performance from Jaden Daniels, their quarterback. And then the Cardinals, they lost to the Lions in a surprisingly low-scoring game. And, I think this game's going to be really fun. I think it's going to be really high scoring. I think both of the quarterbacks are going to have good games because neither team has a good defense. I think their offenses are really good, but their defenses could definitely use some work. And I do think the Cardinals are going to get a win here because I think their offense is a little more consistent. Plus, Jaden Daniels, he is still a rookie, so you never really know. So I have the Cardinals winning this one with a score of 33-30. Moving on, we got an AFC West clash between the Chiefs and the Chargers. Chiefs got bullshit to go their way again. They're 3-0. Chargers received their first loss of the season to the Steelers. And there's actually speculation that Justin Herbert might not play in this game. And if he's not playing, the Chargers do not have a chance in this game. Because the Chiefs' defense, regardless if he's playing or not, is going to be a problem. And without him, they just don't stand a chance. So I have the Chiefs winning this one with a score of 20-19. Probably some ref ball in there as well, if we're being honest. Moving on, we got the Cleveland Browns taking on the Raiders. Both these teams losing in surprising fashion last week. Browns to the Giants, Raiders to the Panthers. And yeah, both these teams got to get back on track if they want any sort of hope for the playoffs in the daunted AFC. And I mean, I don't think either offense is that good. I think both defenses are solid. The Raiders is kind of iffy because they let the Panthers drop like 35 points on them, but the Browns is definitely still elite. So I'm going to have to pick the Browns in this game. I think it's going to be extremely low scoring. I have them winning this one if they score of 10-7. Our Sunday night game should be good. We got the 3-0 Bills taking on the Ravens. The Bills kicked the shit out of the Jags, and the Ravens almost blew a lead to the Cowboys. So both these teams won last week, except one dominated and one almost humiliated themselves. And, I mean, the records may not show this is a good game, but I still think this will be a really good game because it's two of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, Josh Allen versus Lamar. And it should be fun. I think it'll be really high scoring because neither team has played that great of defense so far this year. And because of that, I have the Bills winning this one with a score of 31-28. All right, our next game is on Monday night. There's two of them again for some reason. You got the Titans playing the Dolphins. Titans lost to the Packers against Malik Willis, so some revenge game they had. And then you got the Dolphins, who don't have Tua, and they got destroyed by the Seahawks. So yeah, both these teams don't look very good, and I really don't think this is going to be a fun game. I think it's going to be super low scoring because neither team can show consistent signs of offense at this point in time. And I'm actually going to go with the Titans because their defense, in my opinion, is better than the Dolphins. And I think because of how fucking awful the two offenses are going to be, that's what it's going to come down to. So I have the Titans winning this one in a very exciting game, 9-6. And ending the week, we got the Seahawks taking on the Lions. And if you know football, you know this is going to be a really damn good game because every time these teams play, they just put up points after points after points, and it's always competitive. Like, these teams they just forget how to play defense, and they just put that defense on offense or something like that because these games are always so high scoring. They're like the most fun games that are going to happen this year just because this is just how the NFL is. Like, you got these two teams that just play each other extremely well offensively, and this is going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And it's going to come down to offense, obviously. As I mentioned, these teams don't really like to play defense against each other. And I do have more confidence in the Lions at this point in time. The Seahawks, in my opinion, are a little overrated. They're 3-0, but they beat the Broncos, Patriots, and Dolphins without Tua. They haven't really been tested. So I think the Lions are going to be their first real test. And I do have the Lions winning this one with a score of 43-42. And that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. That's going to do it. And I'm going to go ahead and put all of my predictions up on the screen if you want to take a screenshot or whatever. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video, which will be a Madden video.